Hi, I'm Jenny Robertson, and welcome to the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show live in the On Purpose Woman Global Community Facebook group. I'm the host of the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show, where I talk with real women who are living their lives on purpose and bringing their unique gifts to the planet. I'm also the founder and publisher of On Purpose Woman magazine and founder of the On Purpose Woman Global Community. Today, I'm talking with LinkedIn coach, trainer, and strategist Cheri Martin about the power of relationship marketing on LinkedIn. Welcome, Cheri. Thanks for joining me today.
Oh, my pleasure, Jenny. Thank you for inviting me. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
I
I
am
always enjoy it.
too. I can always
I always
learn.
enjoy when we chat
I
together.
was going to say that too, and I always learn something from you. So
Oh,
you
thank
were
you.
quite the expert on LinkedIn. So I'm excited to hear what you have to share today. But first, I want to tell our viewers a little bit about you. Cheri Martin is a certified social media strategist, LinkedIn coach, trainer, and speaker with over 25 years of online marketing experience. She takes pleasure in guiding her audience in how to eliminate social media overwhelm through simple relationship marketing strategies and systems. This empowers them to enhance their online networking visibility, credibility, and profitability. And you can learn more about Cheri at her website, which is sosocialvisionary.com. And it's also in the link of this video. So, Cheri, there might be somebody out there who doesn't really know what relationship marketing is. So let's start there. How do you define that?
Oh gosh, great question. I mean, to me, relationship marketing is focusing more on how you can make a friend and grow your business. And I mean, that seems like, wow, what does she mean by that?
Mhm.
And I have written articles for OPW on that and elsewhere. But when you are focusing on really just connecting with individuals and getting to know them, and then start nurturing your conversations and things that are aligned with those connections, you start building those relationships. I mean, there's one thing about just connecting with individuals on social media, but when you actually start developing real deep conversations and getting to know each other, that know, like, and trust factor, you know, just comes about.
Yeah.
And to me, that's what relationship marketing is when you focus more on the other person than the amount of sales you want to make. And we all want to make money. There's no doubt about it. Um, but if all you do is try to fill your webinar seats, and I've done it, and you forget about that nurturing component, and that's what actually yields you more sustainable and mutually beneficial outcomes on LinkedIn, is when
Mhm.
you really focus on that nurturing component. And nurturing is just having the conversation, asking them questions, finding out more about them. So again, the simple definition to me is make a friend to grow your business.
I love that. And what struck me while you were talking is, it's really the same thing that we should be doing in person as well, just in our networking in person or our networking online, but in like official networking meetings. And,
Yes.
24 years ago when I started the On Purpose Woman Global Community, I was kind of an anomaly. I mean, I was saying things like that. I was saying, pay attention to the woman who's across from you. She's there for a reason, blah, blah, blah. Don't just walk around and pass out your business cards. Because I would go home from other events with my pockets full of business cards, having no clue who the people were. We hadn't had a conversation. And that was before the internet when this started. And they might, call me up and say, it was nice to meet you. And I'm like, we didn't meet. And I see
Oh,
people doing the same kind of thing
right.
online, because that doesn't taste good.
Mhm. No, I totally relate to that. I know that what really helped me understand that importance of getting to know the people you meet is when I first started networking in business, and I became a member of BNI,
Mhm.
Business Network International, and I learned so much value to that relationship, that we're in a group of people and we're not here to sell to each other. We're here to develop a friendship so that we can support each other and introduce each other to those that we come across that may need our services. And so
Mhm.
that to me was the start of that relationship marketing. And that was the catalyst for me to learn networking. I eventually became a regional director in our community there in Florida for the Space Coast and the Treasure Coast areas. and help to formulate and start chapters for BNI and then teach the networking. And
Mhm.
to me, that was the start of my understanding of how to develop the relationships. And so when online marketing came about and LinkedIn was the very first platform I actually joined, I mean, I didn't really know how to use it at the time. I don't think any of us did at the beginning, but I realized that we were connecting with individuals to have conversations with because a lot of them weren't local.
That's why it's called social,
Yes,
right?
exactly,
I think
exactly.
some of us kind of lost that along the way because it is it takes time and patience to do relationship marketing.
Oh, for
But
sure.
you know what I found out, Sherry, that if I was doing something different, I was wasting my time because
Oh, for sure, for
I just
sure.
wasn't, I'll just throwing stuff at people. That was not getting results either.
No, I mean, and even to kind of backtrack what you just said about, it's social is I always tell individuals that when I'm working with them, coaching or training, is that we have to shift our mindset. This is not a sales tool. It is a networking tool. It's a
Mhm.
communication tool. It's for us to really meet people that we normally would not meet. I mean, goodness, look at through the pandemic, how many individuals we would not have been able to have conversations with if we didn't have this social networking tool,
Mhm.
communication tool. That's how you continue growing your business today. So yeah, during that, and as far as what you said about people, if you just keep throwing things at, that's that push and pull marketing type of thing. If you just keep pushing things at them, it repels them if you're not taking the time to also give some more other value to them.
Yeah. It reminds me of some of the business advice I was reading about when I first started doing this I started my business actually closer to 30 years ago. And some of the business advice was things like networking is a numbers game. You just meet enough people and tell them what you do and something will pan out. Or just throw enough stuff up on the wall and see what sticks. It's like, you know, that is counterintuitive to how women do business for sure.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure. I mean, I know that I always tease when my husband and I first started our business back in 98, we joined a chamber of commerce and I had never really been a networker. I had been doing telemarketing and obviously I was very good at it, but I was building relationships with individuals I was talking with on the phone and doing great in sales. However, when we went to the Chamber of Commerce, I was petrified. I remember walking in behind him and just kind of staying right so close to him. I didn't know what to do, what to
Mhm.
say. And as I started just listening to the conversations, I realized what I did not want to ever do.
Yeah.
And that's when I read Bob Berg's book, The
Mhm.
Go-Giver. That to me, again, was just another tool that helped me to understand the value of showing people you're more interested in them than you are having them be interested in you, because
Yeah.
that's where that relationship starts.
Yeah. Because they won't remember you or they will remember you and I'm thinking about some of my own experiences on LinkedIn, especially because LinkedIn is a more business oriented
Mhm.
that, somebody will ask to connect with me on LinkedIn. I'll look at their thing. Oh, okay. Depending on, I've learned this from you, Cheri, depending on usually all men I'll say no to because they're not my clients.
Exactly.
Or women who are in corporate positions, I typically won't say yes to them, especially if
Mhm.
it's some like pharmaceutical company or something that's, we have nothing in common.
Exactly.
And because I don't want to get so distracted that I'm not paying attention to anybody. When I do say yes, sometimes I'll get that instant kind of connection message that
Yeah.
says, let's talk about what, or have you, or whatever. Somebody sent me something that says, are you getting enough clients? And I'm like, you apparently don't know what I do. I never call the members of my community clients
I
because
know.
they are, but it's not it's different from like a coaching relationship where
Mhm.
somebody's a client. And so that just I went kind of, oh, I don't think you really looked at my
Uh,
profile very closely. So we're here to talk about how not to do those things, but also we're talking about how to do them well, how to do the right things well. So I know you love LinkedIn and you say it's your favorite platform because you used to be all over Facebook and teaching people about Facebook and you
I
decided to
did.
stick to LinkedIn only. What are some of the reasons that you recommend LinkedIn to, especially to entrepreneurs?
Well, I'd say one of the main reasons is, to me, the way social media has evolved over the past few years. It's really it's devolved. The whole digital landscape has really evolved, and LinkedIn has come out of that, and it has emerged as what I say and feel as the premier professional networking platform.
Mhm.
So now, not everyone is going to enjoy LinkedIn or really want to, if they're really comfortable and they're getting the results they want on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter or Pinterest, YouTube, whatever. You need to be where you feel you are most comfortable with your networking, as well as where you feel your clients that you want to, whether it's clients or connections or friendship, where you want to really develop your community, basically, where you really want to have a community that's strong, that can support you, that you can support. And I have found that LinkedIn for me to be that place. I mean, I kind of liken it to a virtual chamber of commerce. I'm sure you've heard me say that, because it's open 24/7, and it's where those individuals are that you network with. Just like you would go to a different association or industry association or a chamber of commerce. And I have found that if you really are looking to strengthen your professional relationships, LinkedIn is that best social platform for you to
Mhm.
really foster meaningful connections.
Yeah.
Facebook is just so cluttered anymore, and it's just coming at you so fast. Unless you have a very powerful group on Facebook, um, or small community that you are happy and you're engaging and things are happening for you, um, I would recommend to try LinkedIn. You know, I don't know, to me, LinkedIn actually, to really be successful, you need to strive to really build your online presence, no matter what platform you're on. But that's the key to success to online marketing. And with LinkedIn, you have that opportunity, because more people on LinkedIn are also shifting from a selling mindset to
Mhm.
that nurturing mindset. And that's what's going to help you grow your business for sure. So, I mean, I do have fun on LinkedIn, and I know that it gets discouraging. I had a couple one-on-ones today with some of my LinkedIn Mastery members, and we were talking about some of the people that have been reaching out to connect. And one girl said, "I got 92 requests. I'm overwhelmed. What do I do with these?" And I kind of gave her a step by step thing. I says, first of all, just kind of, you don't want to go through each one of those profiles, but what you do, if you're not, kind of glance at them, and if you see, because she's like not a lot of men are her clients, or her people. So just start deleting them. You don't have to accept every single one of them. But if you know who your ideal client is, or your ideal audience, um, your ultimate connection, then you can start there by looking through and weeding through them.
Mhm.
But what I have found, that LinkedIn is very much aware of everyone really being upset with all these engineers, and that are trying to connect with everybody, and they have really made some changes within their platform. They're now, if you're on a basic, they're limiting to how many messages you can put out a month.
Mhm.
They never used to do that. That's going to stop some of that spam, because people aren't going to want to waste their messages.
Yeah,
They're going to,
yeah.
because they know that they're just like you said, they're throwing this dart at this target, at this board,
Mhm.
hoping that somebody that they message will take them up on their best thing. But
Cheri, I like to liken it to you're asking to get in bed with me and we haven't had a first date yet, right?
I said that once. I said, gosh, we haven't even kissed. You want to sleep with me?
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, type of thing. But yeah, I don't know. To me, LinkedIn, you have that opportunity. You're more in control as well. You, how many of us on Facebook are having to delete all these little messages if you post anything public? And we have people come and post comments, and you have to go and delete them, and then you have to block them and all this. On LinkedIn, you can bypass that by just not connecting with individuals that are not in your network, in your community. you can bypass that. And that's what I love about LinkedIn too. You don't have to connect with anybody. I only connect intentionally. Anyone that reaches out to me, I take the time to actually go look at their profile. I see who will we connect, what kind of mutual connections do we have? I'll look and see how active they are, how new they are. Do they even have a profile picture or any activity at all? And so those are signals right away to just delete it and not accept it, and basically what you do on LinkedIn. But there, you really want to make sure, and again, I find that there are a number of people I connected with that do this. They start conversations that really resonate with you. So you want to make sure you're also reciprocating that and starting conversations that will resonate with your connections. And it does require some skill and some authenticity for sure. I said there's some actual strategies or steps that you want to take that we had those meaningful conversations that will actually engage, but not just engage, but actually nurture. Because one thing we get hung up on is all this content. And this is why some people stop doing anything on the platforms. And LinkedIn, when I tell them this, they're like, really? I don't have to be there every day? And you don't. You really do not have to be on LinkedIn every single day. What you really want to be mindful of is when you do create a post on LinkedIn, you do pay attention to that post and you make sure that, and LinkedIn makes that easy for you. They send those notifications to you when you have activity on that post. And so you can go right in and react to to different comments. You have an opportunity to continue that conversational flow, because that's what's going to really make you stand out. But if you only do that once a week, as far as posting a comment, or you do it maybe say once a week, as long as it's consistent and you're there every week, maybe on a specific day. I mean, I have clients that post something every day on Tuesday, and that's the only time she's on LinkedIn. And that resulted in her with a big corporate client and being chosen, or I guess recognized as one of the top 15 business coaches in Orlando, just by showing up consistently. And she's only there once a week.
Yeah.
So it's just letting your audience know exactly who you are. To me, it just seems easier. And I know there are some people on Facebook, and I believe you me, 10 years I taught Facebook. 10 years I managed other people's social media on Facebook. And when I really got myself back into LinkedIn, because it was the very first platform I was ever on back in 2008, we really didn't know how to use it, but I knew that my clients at that time were looking for some marketing strategies, because the marketing was tough in 2008 because of the crash. Especially 90% of our clientele were builders in that builder industry and real estate industry. So they didn't have a lot of marketing dollars, and with the way the downturn was. And so just helping them get their positioning themselves on LinkedIn at that time helped them to stay in front of more people without having to spend any money.
Yeah. Well, Cheri, can you give me an example of what a nurturing piece of content might look like, or a question might be to engage other people?
Oh, for sure. I mean, it really starts with that first connection. When you either accept a request to connect, or you request someone to connect with you, you want to send out a personal message. You don't want to just have, connect, send that type of thing. You want to make sure you're sending that private message and personalizing it instead of a generic type of message, and tailoring it to the person that you are reaching out to. Best thing to do is to actually go and glance at their profile. See what pops for you. Is there some type of activity? Go read some of their posts and see what they're saying, and then comment or bring that to their attention and gain their attention. You can say something along the line as, wow, I really, that last post that you put out there was really powerful. I really liked your thought or your point or your tip or whatever it was, and so you're mentioning something, specific from their profile or recent activity. To me, that shows that you've done your research. You're not just connecting with them because they asked you to, or you want to build your network. You're letting them know that you're connecting intentionally and you're actually interested in what they are about. So I think that's where you really start. And it's not just when you connect or accept a connection, it's when you realize you're connected with somebody, but you really haven't had that conversation yet. So you want to maybe go ahead and send them just a personal message
Mhm.
that shows that you're interested in them. That would be the first thing. Other things you can do is like open-ended questions. So that starts that conversation. To me, it's a terrific way to really prompt interest with them. If you ask them a question that is open-ended, then chances are they're going to come back and respond to you. And that can either be a private message, it can be on one of their posts, it could actually be a post that you put out there.
Mhm.
Because conversation isn't just always private, it's also public. And we also have to remember it's conversation takes two people. You can't have a one-way
Yeah,
conversation.
we should be doing dialogue, not monologue, right?
I love that. I like that. Yes, I'll probably use that dialogue, not
You
monologue.
can
I
use
love
that. I'm sure I didn't make it up
that.
either, so, yeah.
But when
But
you
so
do that, it really encourages a more in-depth response when you
Mhm.
ask an open-ended question, definitely. And it gets that conversation flowing, no doubt about that. So I think, when you talk about questions and having that starting the conversation, those are two ways that I have found that works for me and my clients for sure. There's other things. Oh, you also have to remember always to focus on the value. Like I said, it's not the content so much. It's, the content is important. However, it's about how you show up and the value you provide.
Mhm.
So we have to think about that when we're putting content in a post, in an article, even responding to different posts as well. But I have found that if you share an interesting article or a resource that you think your connection or your audience would really find helpful, that definitely starts some interest in other people as well. In other words, think of your content as how you want it to do is maybe aim it to educate, entertain, or inspire those that you are putting it out for. I mean, that again is going to create more meaningful conversations, discussions, and also they'll start watching for more.
Mm.
And you never know, they may take that and share
Mm.
it with their community or say, hey, you need to go read this article. You need to read, this post that Jenny put out there, or you need to go to one of her networking meetings or read her magazine. If you're constantly putting out great information and not trying to sell.
Mhm. Okay.
Definitely. Always think that. And what it does also is kind of shows that you're invested in their success and not just interested in making a sale. You
Mhm.
want to make sure that they are getting good information and you become that trusted source for that.
Yeah, and that takes some time,
Oh, for
and it
sure.
takes a strategy, and it takes commitment, and all the things that you've talked about. You
Oh,
can't
yeah.
just I think that's why I never really liked LinkedIn before because I didn't know how to use it. And I also didn't think, oh, I don't have the time. I have the time to add one more thing. And I'm still,
Hmm.
I'm taking your classes and I'm still not like over there all the time, but I have been sticking my toe in. And I get excited when somebody comes back,
Oh,
and
yeah.
even if they just like it, but if they comment like on the magazine and I know you shared the magazine from the post that I did, and then a couple other people shared the writers shared the magazine, and then it just,
Yeah.
and I look at and it goes, oh, I saw where something, and I don't even know if this is good or not, that I had 78 impressions on my LinkedIn post the other day, and it was like, I don't know if that's good or not, but it's better than none.
I was going to say getting eyes, getting views. I was talking to one of my clients today. We were doing a one-on-one and she was saying, I have these impressions that I don't know how because I've been kind of falling off the last week. I'm not creating posts. I says, okay, are you commenting on other people's posts? Are you, we just started kind of going through things, and have you been found in a search? I mean, there's all sorts of things that can create that impression. So there's a lot of little components that you have to think about
Mhm.
positioning yourself on your LinkedIn profile. So you will be found in searches, taking the time. I mean, to me, it's more valuable to take time to comment on other people's posts than if you were posting yourself.
Okay.
Those crazy algorithms on LinkedIn pick up certain things, and what they look for is your activity and whether or not people are interested in what you are saying or what you are putting out there, as well as how you are positioning in a search, how you position in a search. There's so many little things that they look at. So all of that leads up to those impressions for sure. So that's why I say if you come on LinkedIn and you don't really have time or the energy to post something, go and get into your newsfeed, set a timer for 10 minutes and just start reading through some of those posts and make sure, don't just put a reaction, take time to give a thought.
Mm-hmm.
And if you share something of someone's, don't just share it, put your thought. Because all of those things bound up to your activity as well as your engagement, and it pays off.
Yeah.
Because more people see you, especially in the thread of conversation. When you're posting on someone or commenting on someone else's post, there's other people there that you're not yet connected with. And if they enjoy or react to what you've commented, that they may reach out to connect with you, and you don't know where that connection can take you.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
So
great.
but something that you said, it does take time and effort, building, but here, and so one more platform, and that's what everybody says, oh my gosh, I don't think I have time. Well, we know that building strong relationships takes time and effort, definitely. And if you are not getting results on the platform that you are on, but you're spending so much time, is it worth your time and energy maybe to try something a little different
Mm-hmm.
on a platform that you don't have to be on there every single day, and you don't have to go into groups and pages and this and that, you can just stay on your platform. Yes, there's groups and there's pages on LinkedIn as well, but it's your personal, because of the networking, it's your personal connections that's going to really get the traction for you, and you're in charge.
Yeah.
I mean,
The
I have been a
creep
little
factor is much lower on, you mentioned how they sort of monitor people more. And, there's just, I've never had a creepy person like ask to friend me on or connect with me on LinkedIn, or somebody who looks so blatantly fake that,
yeah.
so you don't have to wade through all those things. I haven't had that happen yet, but maybe because I'm not that visible yet. I don't know.
It can be, you can sit there and really complain about it, or just say, you know what, it's just a thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is complaining about it going to help me to get more awareness with my audience that I want to connect with, or should I
Mhm.
just just deny it? I
Yeah.
don't want it. I don't accept it. I can tell anymore by looking at it, and especially where they're from. I don't connect with any Europeans because I don't do business with Europeans. Not that I don't want to. I mean, it's just that I'm not scaling my business that way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's really great what you're saying is to have some factors, like some boundaries around, these are my ideal clients. This is where I think they are. This is who I think they are. And not just feel like, we have to say yes. Because I know in the early days of Facebook, somebody want to be my friend. Sure, it's new, it's fun, And then I started looking at it, and I had almost 5,000 friends within the first, 2 years or something. And I would bet a good 20% of them were people that would, that I would never have said yes to, probably more than that, yes to today. Because it
Exactly.
was just this, I don't know, it was almost like this, oh, the more friends you have, that's a good thing, right?
I know it used to be quantity, quantity, quantity. Now it's
Yeah.
quality over
Yes.
quantity. And that, I mean, I have really, really so many people from my email list as well, because
Mhm.
it's going to harm you in the long run. And your connections, if you're connecting intentionally and you're building, think of it as building your community.
Yeah.
Who do you really like? Who would you want to go to dinner with, or go dancing with, or have a getaway with, or something? And and I don't mean guys or anything like that, but I mean a getaway, like a little retreat or something with a group of women or something like that. I mean, that's how I look at how, when I'm thinking of who I want to connect with and who I really want to be in my space, are people that I want to have fun with, that I would have fun with if we were face to face. And that is really how I built my community when I was in Florida. I was very active in the chambers of commerce, and like I said, BNI, different other associations, as well as, I was a subject matter expert for SCORE, Small Business Development Center. I taught classes there. I built community with people that I wanted to connect with. And I believe I actually attracted those people to my classes because of what they wanted to learn. And not everybody became clients. I didn't expect them to, but I knew that I was reaching people that really wanted to learn from me. And that was a good feeling.
Yeah. Well, Cheri, you've given us so much great information today. And how can our viewers find out more about you?
Well, definitely they can connect with me on LinkedIn at Cheri Martin. When you go to LinkedIn, just put Cheri Martin in, and I'm the one in Maryville, Tennessee. I know there's other Cheri Martins out there. There's four realtors out there, but also my website, So Social Visionary. It has all my links to all my different platforms. And there's actually, if they want to have a one-on-one with me, they can actually click. There's a scheduling link on my website. We can have a further discussion if they want, if they're looking at some type of a strategy, whether it's LinkedIn or social media, overall social media strategy. But definitely, I love to have those little one-on-ones. Again, that kind of starts that conversation.
Mhm.
And it's not a selling time. It's time for us just to kind of get to know each other, almost like a meet and greet, and gets us that opportunity to continue. And then once we connect, we get to continue nurturing, that relationship. And that's again why I like to connect with people that I meet at different networking meetings, like the On Purpose Women Network. And I was on one yesterday, and I've already had a couple people reach out to connect because we want to have a little one-on-one to get to know each other a little bit more.
Mhm.
And that is all about what relationship marketing is.
Yeah. Well, I also want to let everybody know that you wrote a fabulous series of 3 articles for the On Purpose Woman magazine on harnessing the power of LinkedIn for spiritual entrepreneurs. And anyone watching this can find those articles at our website, which is opwgc.com. Click on the magazine. Those links, along with Cheri's links, are also in the text of this video. And if you want to read the current article, which is the third and last one for this go around at least, you can find it there, and then you can go into our archives, which is also linked here, and read the last 2. One was in September, October, and the other one in November, December. Anything you have coming up you want to share, Cheri?
Oh gosh, I mean, I do have a lot. I'm just, I'm going to be doing a free webinar next week on just kind of how to do a little mini audit on your LinkedIn. That's not yet on my website. It should be up by this afternoon. I just decided, you know what, I'm going to do a pop-up webinar next week. And, but I do have my next LinkedIn mastery program starting in February and March. I'm going to do it in an 8-week program instead of an annual program. So it's going to be a jump start. You're going to get right in there and start seeing results immediately. That starts in February. That is up there. I also have last month I developed a 2024 digital social media calendar, and I put a little webinar together. I made a product out of that so that those that were not able to be there, that is all on my website as well. You can go to my workshop page and you'll see the LinkedIn Mastery and the 2024 social media calendar bundle. And the webinar should be up there by tonight too. I just like, oh, it's been crazy.
Yeah.
It's hard to believe it's the 3rd week of January already. And where has the time gone? It's just lots going on, and I'm enjoying life, and
I know I
busy.
packed my January after I got back into work mode on the 10th. I packed it way fuller than I probably, if I were being conscious about it, I might have done, but lesson learned, I think.
My first quarter is jam-packed, and as I sent you a letter the other day, I had to step back and say no more right now. I mean, because I do that.
I know, because that's what happens when you love what you do and you
It
enjoy it all. And
is.
it's like, yeah, well, sometimes we have to say no to things we even love, but because we have to
I
have the
had to
rest of our life work as well.
exactly. I had to pull back and realize, what is my word of the year? Harmony. To harmonize, more harmony in my life and my business together. And I decided not to use the word balance because you can't really have teeter-totters too much. So I thought, okay, but I was like, all of a sudden I realized, oh my gosh, I got too much over here and not enough there. I had to just pull back. So there's always another day.
There's always another day. And yes, we can only do so much too. And I'm also a big fan of it's not all mine to do. And that's something I also have to pay attention to more.
Yeah, there's so many other things that go on in our life. We have to
Yeah.
keep track keep on top of that as well. So, but, I love what I do. I really do. I love teaching LinkedIn and the relationship marketing. That's my whole, why I do it is the networking aspect. That's pretty much what, to me, why I enjoy LinkedIn and putting that strategy component in it too.
Well, be sure if you're watching this to go to Cheri's website. Again, it's in the text of this video. Check out her LinkedIn Mastery. I highly recommend that. She's an excellent teacher, knows all kinds of stuff, as you can tell from what she shared just in this video. And also check out her social media content, the content calendar, as well as the webinar, because also I got that and it's really excellent. And I can't wait to dig in a little bit more. It's like I've been too busy to plan anything. I gotta get out of this doing this and start planning things out 3 months or so into the future. So Cheri, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom and your expertise with us and for the articles in the magazine, and you speak to the groups. You can also, if you look Cheri up, you can probably do a search on the YouTube channel. You can find other talks that she's done for the On Purpose Woman Global Community and some other interviews that we've done with your articles and some other things. So she's a rock star in the LinkedIn category. So thanks again, Cheri.
My pleasure. And always, I appreciate you and your audience. And thank you so very much for inviting me.
You're so welcome. And thank you for watching the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show. Check out our YouTube channel for informative interviews like this one. There are also videos where I chat with the contributing writers of the On Purpose Woman magazine about their articles, and we record the speakers at our On Purpose Woman Global Community Zoom gatherings. So you can take advantage of their expertise as well. And thank you again for watching the Real Women, Real Purpose talk show.